So the Sydney Morning Herald have reported that the Rugby League Players Association isn't happy with the no-fault stand-down policy relating to players charged with serious criminal offences, with Rlpa CEO Ian Prendergast saying, "Our focus is protecting what we've agreed to under the CBA and the players' contract to ensure the NRL can't ride roughshod over that and make changes that are inconsistent with those things. Well, under the CBA, you've agreed to be partners in the game, which according to the Rlpa website includes integrity measures to protect the game and its stakeholders and alignment of interest to grow the game."
In genuine partnership with the NRL, I think we can make our game greater than ever. It gives an opportunity for the players, as I mentioned, to be recognised as genuine partners of our game with the NRL. Well, in my entire career, I never felt, along with my peers, felt like we're genuine partners with the game.
Cool story, Ian. I'm Old Panther, and this is Rugby League news by fans, for fans. The article states that the Rugby League Players Association is in mediation talks with the NRL after claiming the introduction of the stand-down rule breached the terms of their collective bargaining agreement. If the parties don't resolve the matter, it'll be sent to arbitration, with an outcome expected before the start of the 2020 season. Prendergast goes on to say that, "We've always maintained rules, regulations and policies aren't going to shift player behaviour. We're disappointed as anyone when off-field incidents occur, particularly around how much we're investing in addressing player behaviour. Where we are not as aligned with the NRL is how you shift that in a meaningful way long term. Yes, we absolutely support appropriate sanctions being handed down, which need to include measures that address the actual root of the behaviour, so a player can learn from the situation they find themselves and change their behaviour over time. You've taken a huge swing and missed here, Ian. Since the no-fault stand-down policy is about a standard of behaviour that's expected, it's not about rehabilitating behaviours and is mostly protecting the image of the game, as far as fans and sponsors are concerned anyway. And the policy certainly isn't a statement on the guilt or innocence of said players, as mentioned in the original statement on the policy by ARL Commission Chairman Peter Beattie. He says, "I want to make it clear, this is no fault. We're making no judgment whatsoever in relation to any player charged with any offence. What we're doing is setting a benchmark and standard for the game of rugby league." And he continues, "This is not about being popular. This is about sending a clear message that the game does not tolerate violence against women or children. Our job is to rebuild the reputation and protect the game. That reputation has been damaged by recent events. This is about a standard that's expected. But," and there's a big but here, "all the policy does is stop the player in question from playing. They can still train and be involved with their respective clubs as much as possible." Beattie also says that player welfare is very important to the governing body and that any support needed by the player is available, saying, "This policy ensures that he doesn't play, but can be around the team, be it training during the week, and most importantly, take the services of that club via welfare and services available to him. We think it's important for the club and player to have the opportunity to continue in the environment." He continues later saying, "We do have a responsibility of player welfare and we want to have a clear partnership with all clubs. So it's not as though the NRL is just abandoning players once they've been charged. They still have access to all the services they could need and their full salary under their contract." The Rlpa CEO continued to take a shot at the NRL, saying, "Our frustration is based on the talk in relation to how much money the game has lost in not being able to secure additional sponsors or fans due to off-field behaviour, but the reluctance to invest further to give these players the kind of training they need to cope with the demands placed on them through their standard and behaviour is frustrating. You think about how much the game is investing in the integrity unit, and a lot of that is quite reactionary in investigating matters." Do you mean like the NRL being proactive and partnering with Drinkwise, which is an evidence-based social change organisation that is meant to educate players, club officials and fans on responsible drinking behaviours and attitudes? Look, I know the NRL isn't perfect, but they clearly take these things seriously and want the best outcomes for players as much as practically possible. But most importantly, the no-fault stand-down is a good policy that has done its job well in protecting the image of the game while not leaving players stranded out in the cold. Anyway, thanks for listening. I wasn't going to do another video this week, but this story needed addressing. Don't forget to like and share the video around since YouTube isn't good with letting people know about content apparently, and I'll leave you with this quality comment from Insty1 on Reddit, and I'll catch you next time. So far, the policy has stood down an alleged rapist, wife basher, and guy who stabbed someone. The rule is to protect the game, not improve player behaviour, and let's face it, no amount of education or training will be enough for a guy who thinks it's acceptable to stab someone.